Adam Taxin here with Chloe Valdary, who has been in the news a little bit, including in the Jewish press and including on Breitbart.com. She is a tireless pro-Israel advocate with a little bit of a different background than the typical pro-Israel advocate. She is not Jewish but Christian. She's also black, and she's only 19 years old and a sophomore at University of New Orleans. Now, a lot of people have been reading about her, and it's good that people have a chance to hear her voice and actually hear her story. And Chloe, thanks for joining me today. And let me ask you, first of all, to just talk about how you became such an Israel advocate.
Hi, Adam. Thank you so much for having me. I became a huge pro-Israel advocate after doing a research paper the spring year of my freshman semester in college. I had to do a paper for what's called an honors option. And an honors option is when you just do something outside of the scope of the classroom to get extra credit, basically. And I had always been interested in Israel and the Jewish people and Jewish culture, and so I decided to research the Israeli conflict because of that. And in the process of researching it, I found that anti-Semitism was prevalent, and it had a great deal to do with the facilitation of the conflict, and also that it was very rampant in the Middle East and in other parts of the world, and that many people were unaware of this.
Now, when you say people were unaware, are you talking about in your community, in New Orleans, in the black community, or just in the world in general?
I mean in the world in general. When I talk to people about, Israel-Palestine, they respond, like when I ask people what their general knowledge of this topic is, they respond in the manner that, Israelis are fighting over land, if only Israel would leave land, then there would be peace. It's usually in that sort of discussion that takes place when I ask people about it. And people are generally unaware of the history of how Israel came to be, how Israel was established, and also the anti-Semitism that is pervasive throughout Palestinian society today, and really forms the basis of the Free Palestine movement.
Now, your religious background sort of set you up for this. Obviously, you've taken a lot of initiative yourself, but your family background is such that, well, why don't you just tell us about it?
Sure. I am what some would call an unconventional Christian in that my family and I, we keep the Sabbath today, we observe the Sabbath day, we keep kosher, and we observe the holy day. So from that point of view, we have I have been exposed to a lot of Jewish culture growing up. And so I think that made me more inclined to do something in that sort of field of work, or do something relating to that topic.
I'm just curious about this, and this is a little off topic. That's different from a Noahide, and that's obviously... Is there a community of unconventional Christians, and is there a church you go to? I'm just really curious about it.
Oh, yes. We observe the Intercontinental Church of God. It's not, like I said, conventional, it's not, but there are a few churches actually around the world that observe, like, the Torah-based laws, as well as being Christians at the same time.
Now, I want to also get to the event, while we still have time, that you're planning for a few days from now. You have a pretty big, ambitious event planned that you pretty much organized yourself at the University of New Orleans. Maybe you could tell us about that and how people can find out more.
Yeah, sure thing. The name of the event is Declare Your Freedom, and it's basically a type of pro-Israel rally that it sheds light on the anti-Semitism that is spreading throughout the world, and it also promotes this idea that as Americans we should be inclined to support Israel, because Israel is the only, for instance, liberal democracy in the Middle East, and Israel is a pioneer of human rights and of the rule of law and freedom of speech and freedom of religion and things like that. So as Americans we share this in common, so it's important that we advocate this, and because we are, pro-liberty, and Israel is a good example of a country that advocates for that same thing. And so Our keynote speaker is Dr. Daniel Pipe of the Middle East Forum. We have Evan Sayed coming to speak as well. He spoke at the Heritage Foundation. And we have Alfonia Schmitz coming to speak. We have Denny Schaefer, who is a local radio guy. And we have also some students coming to speak from Tulane University. So it's supposed to be a good event, huge event. We're also having famous New Orleanian trumpeter going to open up the ceremony for us. Kermit Ruffin, he's going to play the Star Spangled Banner to open us up. So it should be pretty awesome. Should be
great.
Fun.
Well, thank you for doing it. And why don't you just give the website again and a way if people want to contact you personally, if you want to give that out before we conclude.
Sure. Anyone who wants to contact me personally can email me at cvaldary, VALDARY, @gmail.com. Our website, we have our Facebook events page, and it's, well, I don't know if you want to, this is sort of a weird generic website that Facebook puts out for events, but it's facebook.com/events, and then there's a number. You can just search for it, though, and the toolbar, just search for Declare Your Freedom. That's Declare with a capital D, Your, all lowercase, and Freedom, with capital F, and then with an exclamation point at the end. And it has a poster that says Rally to Declare Your Freedom, featuring keynote speaker Daniel Pipe. So.
Well, Chloe, I'm sure we'll talk to you again, or I'm sure I'll talk to you again. And thank you for all the great work that you do, and keep in touch.